Chocolate rain.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to PT3600 for a brand spanking new episode. This is YouTube's episode. We're not only going to broadcast ourselves, but we're going to talk about the platform that has, inspired a lot of us, and it's probably where you're watching this. If you're watching the video version of this, that's where we upload it. YouTube is one of our main platforms we focus on, so why not talk about the platform itself? Maybe what we liked about the past, what we like about now, or who we used to watch. We're just going to talk about YouTube in general. My name is Ryan E. Moore. Joining me is
Ashton.
And let's get into it. Where do you want to start, Ashton? Where do you want to start talking about this platform known as YouTube?
I mean, I guess, I don't know. It's, there's like a lot of creators in like the golden age of YouTube that I dearly miss. YouTube. Yes. Like the Chocolate Rain guy. I was just singing.
Yeah.
That amazing voice of his. There was Equals3, which died just a few years ago.
Ray William Johnson.
Yeah, Ray William Johnson. That's right.
Yeah.
Robbie took over.
He was one of the people that I used to watch as a high schooler, middle schooler, high schooler.
His was like the YouTube version of American's Funniest Home Videos. His commentary was pretty great. There's always this video that my uncle would likes to rewatch every now and again. There's one where he's watching a video of this Japanese chip commercial, and it's like this weird looking long haired dog that's standing like a person walking around with like ping pong paddles in his hand, and they have like this tune going along in like Japanese. And like he gets all sad because he's alone, then he eats these chips and then he like is happy. It made no sense, but it was just his commentary is so good. Like called the dog like a broke ass Chewbacca. It looks like a weird pedo dog, but I don't know. It's just like funny shit, and like being able to make fun of stuff was like a huge part of YouTube culture back in the day.
Yeah, I mean it was a Wild West sort of situation. I mean the whole reason why they created it, the creators were wanting to send that nip slip that happened at the Super Bowl, and they didn't have a platform for it, so they created this thing of like, let me just share this, and then it'd be kind of like nowadays. You get copy striked, you'll get like, because it's all about ads. Like back then it was just sharing videos. So YouTube was founded February 14th, 2005, 14 years ago. So they're almost this year, actually 2020, they'll celebrate their 15th anniversary of YouTube. But you probably will already know that. So but the it's interesting. I have the Wikipedia thing open here, so I don't know how much you want me to like give you fun facts about YouTube. But the thing about YouTube for me was it definitely inspired me to do video content. Like there was dozens of YouTubers that I watched that I found skits were a huge thing. Maker Studios starting and doing their whole thing, and that's not where the money is anymore, because you lose more money making productions than you do actually like just uploading a video of you playing a video game or commentating on a situation. Now it doesn't even matter what it doesn't matter how much time you're going to spend in the video. You could spend 5 minutes making the video and it could go viral and people are watching that stuff. I mean, if you look at like current people like David Dobrik, his videos are 4 minutes and 20 seconds long. And it's just a vlog. He just does that. But like people that vlog for 20 minutes or so don't get as many views as that, because people don't retain that sort of time anymore. They don't want to develop a situation where they're spending 15 minutes watching a video anymore, except if you're a gamer, which coincidentally you're not. But I don't know. It's a really interesting time. Like one of the YouTubers I used to watch, I'm still subscribed, waiting for one day maybe he'll come back. But Kasim G was one of the people I used to watch. His California On, his Going Deep with Kasim G, where he would interview porn stars, which I thought was hilarious because he would have a straight face and just belittle every single porn star that he would interview. Oh my God, it's such an ingenious thing because he lives in California, so he can just interview anyone. And that was such a good time.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of cool stuff. I mean, that was kind of around the time where people stopped using like G4 and like forums to like find all like the secrets and like games and stuff. They could just YouTube it.
Yeah, you could watch walkthroughs and stuff, and that was really an early time of that happening because that software was very hard to come by, or you wouldn't be able to record very long. So
yeah, it was a lot of it was just more so like showing off your personality and less about like the cool stuff you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to like see some really cool people do some like really, really amazing things. Whereas now it's like all about status quo, doing what you got to do to get the clicks. You know, it's a free for all out there now. Whereas before it used to be more of like a giant YouTube as a whole was just one community. Now it's just a bunch of communities battling each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anything really, just to spark something. Because, yeah, man, I don't know. YouTube's very different now. YouTube is very different now. And you can, any OG YouTuber will tell you the same thing. I'm sure you guys have heard this many times before. YouTube's not the same as it used to be. It just isn't. It's not the same great feeling you get. You know, now there's a lot of junk on here because it's bloated now, and all the fair use is pretty much no longer a thing anymore.
Do you remember the reason why you started watching YouTube?
Yeah, just like funny stuff. That was the big thing. Is, you know, it was a big media platform that, you know, all your friends, you know, who were getting into like had like the iPod touches and stuff, would just go on their phone and connect to the Wi-Fi and just start watching YouTube videos and then have you check it out. Like, it was a big thing, at least for me, where you would want to try and like show off the funniest video. And then like a bunch of people would like always come up and ask you if you're like watching anything else that's super funny. And that's like how a lot of inside jokes would happen too. So a lot of it was just like seeing funny stuff. And then it kind of turned into me wanting to see walkthroughs and stuff because I couldn't afford the guidebooks. So yeah, it was a bunch of different things for me. Mostly for the personality, for the funny moments.
Yeah, I mean, my thing was Rooster Teeth was my major draw, specifically Red versus Blue, was to start watching YouTube stuff because I know they had it on their website because actually Rooster Teeth predates YouTube, but I watched it when they were starting to do the YouTube pullovers, and that was when I really started getting to YouTube because I was watching that and I was like, oh man, what else is there? Like what other sketch stuff is there? And that's where I found like Nigahiga and Kev Jumba. Then I found Equals 3, like you were talking about. There's the different varieties of stuff that was starting to show up. And at the time, G4 was still going on, so I would watch my video game stuff on TV. It wasn't necessarily something I even remotely thought about you could do on the computer, that you could actually watch people playing those games. I was trying to look back because the YouTube channel I use now is not my first YouTube channel. So, and since then I've kind of unsubscribed from a lot of, if I sign into an old one, it's just more of just not any of the old people. I kind of unsubscribed and resubscribed with current stuff. But yeah, I think I'm trying to think of some older ones that I continued watching. I guess Vsauce I've watched for years as well. I've been kind of an off and on with that though, but he's been definitely my the learning aspect of things. And then IGN was a really big thing when I started watching IGN stuff, and that's kind of down the road. That's like high school era for me. And YouTube, if it launched in 2005, which I don't think it was called YouTube at that current time. So I probably started watching YouTube probably 2007-ish. If I really am honest with it, I knew about YouTube, but I think I really got into YouTube in like 2007, 7th grade. That's when I learned that's what I want to do. I want to make videos. I want to record. I recorded little sketches and videos with my iPod Touch, and I would edit them on my iPod Touch, upload them. I think there's some floating around still from Days of Future Past sort of situation, but but yeah, like I loved doing the sketches, and sketches to me seemed really, really fun in the creative process of, I didn't even write scripts for those. They were just like, let's just do this, get friends, have a good time. We're just going to record this thing and have fun doing it. And the inspiration from those sketch guys on YouTube were my main thing. My main attraction was from that. And Red vs. Blue is one of those series that I watched at that time to kickstart that thing going.
Really good series. Did I ever tell you my dad is the one who got me into that?
Into Red vs. Blue or YouTube?
Red vs. Blue.
Oh, no, I did not.
Yeah, he hates Halo because he's really bad at it.
Oh.
He's bad at any shooter, really. He just has really bad reflexes. But for some reason, he happened upon it on YouTube and just started binge watching it. I gotta say, I think it was when I was in high school.
Now, I will say, I was not a Rooster Teeth fan at that time. I was a Red versus Blue fan. Now, what got me to be a Rooster Teeth fan and to know that there are more personalities is when Michael did his Rage Quit video of the Impossible game. And that was my beginning down the rabbit hole of Rooster Teeth. I watched Achievement Hunter, and then I got sucked into the Rooster Teeth podcast and stuff like that, and their sketches started coming out. So that was that draw in there. But Red vs. Blue introduced me to
Did you ever watch I think it was Achievement Hunter that did it. But they would do clips of the week or whatever.
Yeah, fails of the week.
Yeah, fails of the week. Fails of the week. Yeah, dude, that was great. You get to
I think they stopped doing that a while back. But...
Yeah, they stopped doing it a few years ago. But you post your favorite clips to them. They'd look them over and then compile them on one video and react to them. It was just so funny. A lot of it was Halo, but oh my god, I do miss those. All the fail montage / commentary videos that they had. That was a lot of fun too. So that was before because a lot of it was Halo because nobody had recording equipment, so they would just go in theater and upload it.
So yes,
file share,
and then they would share it to, the Achievement Hunter crew, like Jack and Jeff. They'd share it to them.
Yes.
So I don't know if you have your YouTube loaded up, but we could go down who we're subscribed to now, and kind of give some shout outs to some people that we obviously like. I mean, we could talk about Rooster Teeth all day, but we can,
True.
But segueing into a Rooster Teeth branch is Funhouse. I watch Funhouse a lot.
Funhouse is good.
I love those guys, and I really actually like the fact that they all are. I don't know. They all work together really, really well. At this time, there a couple people have left. I don't want to date it, so I'm just gonna say in case if anyone else leaves. But there's less people than there were before, but now it's I don't know. I think they've really worked out. I still listen to them. I think they're the most viewed from me in my subscription list. I watch them anytime they upload a video because I always know I'm just gonna bust out laughing. Why don't you go ahead? You say someone that you're subscribed to.
I'll say someone I'm subscribed to that I did not like at the dawn of YouTube. PewDiePie. PewDiePie I did not like at all. I thought he was annoying and obnoxious as fuck. But now he's super like down to earth dude and makes really spicy content, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
I am subscribed to PewDiePie as well. I agree when he was doing his like amnesia and early videos. I wasn't really a fan of it. But I always knew he was around. Because he would always be recommended to me, but I never really saw the interest. But I think it's also he learned a lot from the fall of grace he had, and you can do one of two things. You can either learn from it, or you could just dive more into it. And he chose to learn from it. I think he does have obviously some salty opinions about some people still, and not saying that as a knock to him. There's people that are well deserved to be in a saucy mood talked about and stuff, but yeah, I definitely agree. I think PewDiePie is one of my favorite as well. I don't watch him as much as I did a couple years ago. I watch him every once in a while because I kind of started watching some other content, longer content, and so. But sure. I definitely agree. PewDiePie's pretty good.
Oh man, do you remember Reckless Tortuga?
I do remember Reckless Tortuga.
Oh my god,
man, that was a good channel. Do they still make content?
Not on YouTube.
Oh. Okay.
Last time they posted on here was a year ago, saying live title. Last thing I thought that they started doing that was new was streaming on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
Online Gamer was the series though.
Yeah, they had a bunch of other good ones too, though. They had some Stormtroopers ones, which were funny. Online Gamer was their biggest one. And they had like little skits here and there too. Like dating Catwoman was super fucking funny. Yeah, that was right around that time where YouTube was still really, really good.
You know, funny that you brought up the Stormtroopers thing. I'm not subscribed to them anymore. I like them on Facebook, but I'm not subscribed to them. Is a College Humor was like you were saying, the Stormtroopers. It reminded me because they have a Stormtrooper sketch too. They're not Stormtroopers, but they are. And there's just so many good sketches that they had with those. That's the thing. It's just that sketch comedy bit just got lost, and I don't know where it ended up. And that's part of the reason why I liked Funhouse is like they have a lot of sketch stuff that they simply put in, but it's not scripted. And then when they did their whole Arizona Circle thing, which is sketch comedy show that they actually put time in and production and stuff, that was like pretty it was really refreshing because it just was something that you don't see very often anymore. I'm sure channels still do it, but they're not those number one channels anymore. So
yeah,
College Humor. There was some really good stuff. There was the Prank Wars thing with Amir and oh god, I forgot his name. But like they would prank each other, and it got to the point where there was one of them pranked the other guy. So guy A pranked guy B, because I can't remember who was who, a proposal. So at a baseball game, he told the cameraman to like shine onto person B and say on the big screen, like, "Will you marry me?" with person B sitting next to his girlfriend, but he was not going to propose anytime soon. So he had to talk himself, and that was like the biggest prank. It got viral for a while, but that was like one of the pranks that they did. It was really good.
Damn.
That was
That's
really good.
funny.
I think it's still around. You can probably still look at it. Jake and Amir. That's what it was.
Are there any recent people on YouTube that you're that have left that you're gonna miss?
That left?
Yeah.
Recent people that have left.
Like for example, I have Filthy Frank. He left to pursue his music. He was super edgy content. If you have not watched his stuff, you would actually enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't really. All the people that I am subscribed to are pretty active.
I also missed the Roastmaster Leafy is here. He was a huge dick, which is why I liked him. But he doesn't make content anymore.
Another one I'm subscribed to is Justin Scarred. He does vlogs and stuff, but he'll go to locations. I found him a while back doing Disney videos, and he wasn't really my cup of tea back then when he was kind of starting. And then I unsubscribed, watched some other people, and then I've kind of come back over the last 3 years or so, and I've been watching his content, and I very much enjoy it. He goes to a lot of different places, like Arizona. He does the Route 66 thing sometimes, where he'll like go up and down Route 66, and he'll show like landmarks that are around there. And he does do a lot of Disney stuff and like the openings and things like that. But he's not just a Disneyland person, which is part of the reason why I like him, is he does all these other places. And he'll go to Disney World. He'll also go to Disney Paris, talk about things over there. And while he's in Paris, he'll go do stuff and show you things to do in Paris. Mm-hmm. So that's why I like his personality too. He kind of reminds me of a Nickelodeon host back in the 90s, very animated and has kind of a interesting voice when he's talking and things like that. So yeah, I really like Justin Scarred. He has 203,000 subscribers, which I think is really low for how good a content he makes. But he has some pretty good view counts.
You do you watch anybody for like anybody creative, I guess, that like makes their own stuff or
I am subscribed to a couple of people that are animators. There's 2 animators.
I have Game Grumps on here.
Oh wait, what do you mean by that? Creative?
People that just make their own stuff. So like Game Grumps, they do like their own stuff, like Cyanide and Happiness.
The Game Grumps do their own Cyanide and Happiness sort of thing?
No, like they're all like animators as well. Except for
you're talking about like Aaron.
Yeah, like Aaron
Ego Raptor
stuff.
Yeah.
So he has his like stuff that he also puts on that channel too, though. There's also I also have this one guy followed, CryzenX. He is this dude that is completely remaking the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time in Unreal Engine.
Oh, he's that guy.
Yeah, and changing like the audio files as well. He's doing everything from scratch.
Okay.
And so he posts every now and again updates, and you can download it and play the parts that he's made so far, and like walk around and like see how it is, and it's really really cool. And he also got sponsored by, who the fuck did he get sponsored by? Somebody, I don't fucking know. Somebody he got sponsored by, and they helped him out with equipment. And hey, yeah, keep making your shit and tell people to use their stuff. So it's his is pretty cool. I do like seeing his stuff every now and again.
So I'm subscribed. If you're going with creative, it's more of like animation, I guess.
Sure.
Obviously, Cyanide and Happiness, Explosum, is that Explosum Entertainment or whatever it is? Those guys I subscribed to long ways ago. And then Andre Turbia, I don't know how to say his last name. I think he said it like 3 or 4 times, and I've never been able to remember it. He like animates certain types of videos that could pertain to topics. Like one of the things he talked about was the drama between let's see here. What's one of them? What's the one that was like, oh yeah, the boxing one, the KSI versus Logan Paul. He like did an animate. He like animates it all. He just does little like drawings of things that are happening, and it kind of updates you on like kind of the YouTube drama, but keeps you kind of out of the loop, so you don't have to dive too deep in because he'll do it himself. And then who else was there? There's one more person that I am subscribed to. I haven't watched them in a while. Jaden Animations. I watched her stuff for a while. That kind of got me down the road of animation for like YouTube stuff, but she posts very irregular, and so it kind of lost me after a while, and I kind of just stopped watching her. But she uploads every so often. Like her last video was like 2 weeks ago, but the video before that was a month ago. So it's very sporadic, but it happens, sort of stuff. That's about when it comes to animation. Most of my stuff is like gaming and vloggers. And
do you have anything that you like? Any channels you use for like gaming news or anything like that?
Gaming news would probably be Funhouse, because they'll throw it in the podcast every so often.
Oh, okay.
IGN. Let's see here.
I am on with I'm subbed to Halo Follower, which is this dude that just covers a bunch of Halo shit. And anything that gets like leaked or that's rumored, he'll like be like, hey, this is just a rumor, but like, hey, this could probably like happen. So he's my guy for Halo news. And there's also sort of related Forge Labs. I
do have Forge Labs as well.
Yeah, he doesn't do Halo stuff at the moment because Halo 5 is dead. But yeah, he's just playing like small, weird, niche games right now, which are kind of crazy but cool. But when Halo Infinite comes out, he's going to go back to his Halo content where he's showcasing Forge maps, do a nice like pan over it, like really, really well made, and then show them playing it in custom games. So it's really good to use him for your own custom game playlist for when Infinite does come out. He'll be a guy to watch again.
Yeah, I follow Pro Guides Challenger League of Legends guides, and they're just pro guides is what they kind of go by. But they have like League of Legends. I think they have like an Apex and Fortnite stuff too. But they'll tell you, depending on whichever channel you're subscribed to that Pro Labs makes, tell you tips and tricks of what's new that's coming to the game. Like with League of Legends, they talk about the new update, what's the meta, who's good for which lane at the current moment in time, who got buffed, who got debuffed, strong set builds, things like that. And they're very detailed, and then they're explained in a way that you don't get lost, of like where some tips and tricks videos will be like, oh, here's 7 paragraphs of random information that doesn't correlate to anything, and it's just me reading off of a piece of paper. Their thing is like videos and breaking down stuff and going a little bit more in depth, but not losing you and not overly explaining stuff. Their formula for their videos is very good. And for like a 453,000 subscriber channel for League of Legends, I'm sure their Fortnite one's bigger, but I'm not sure. But they have like a whole website too. So if you go to their website, you can like you can pay to get taught and stuff. But their free stuff is really good, and they'll also like do highlights from from worlds and competitions to like break down why this was a good thing that this player did and why you should implement it into your games and stuff like that. So I kind of like that.
You know who I'm very close to subscribing to? I don't know why I do this, but I watch like a ton of videos of a person before I sub to them.
Really?
I don't know why.
If I watch more than 5 videos of them, I subscribe to them.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I am. I should probably just quick. His YouTube channel is Beat 'em Ups. It's this.
Oh yeah, I'm subscribed to him.
Yeah, he's super cool. Even though
Yeah.
he's a Sony Nintendo fanboy, and he's pretty. He tries to stay pretty unbiased. Like with one of his latest videos, he's talking about all the next gen stuff. But I first started seeing him around Black Friday, where he's telling you where to find like all the best deals for shit.
Yeah, I subscribed to him when the Switch launched because he was talking about like
really
games
fucking
you should
like
get.
his hair.
Oh yeah,
His hair is fucking awesome.
I think he's New Zealander, right?
I don't know. He's something cool.
Yeah, and I've tried to I got on, like, you can definitely tell where I started crazes, where I just started diving more deep into it and I started watching types of videos for a certain period of time, because the way my stuff is organized is based on how frequently I watch them. So some of the stuff to the top are people that make series of videos, but they only make them for a specific amount of time and they're really long, so then they'll go from like the bottom of my list all the way to the top in just like a short period of time. TFIL was one of those channels that was kind of in the middle of my subscription list, and then I started watching him a little bit more. Just the group of guys and that he can get together. Elton is the guy who made the channel, but I don't know, it's really cool of some of the adventures that he kind of goes on. It's sort of vloggy. Ashton, you would remember him based on the Queen Mary series that he just recently came out with a little while ago.
God, yeah.
And which was really good, but there's also moments where he'll go to actual haunted places. I kind of found him a little bit after I found like, I knew about Elton, but I didn't know. I'd always see him in the background of videos because I got down into this is where YouTube algorithm starts to come into play. So I saw Sam and Colby on my Facebook. Like, it was one of their promoted things. This is how Facebook gets you too. And I was like, I saw one of their videos. I'm like, oh, I remember these guys from Vine. Like, I'll go look them up. I wonder if they have a channel. And then Sam and Colby have a channel, and they go into these haunted places and abandoned places and do that stuff, which was really cool. And so from then, Elton would be in the background every so often. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I wonder if Elton has a channel. And then I found out he had one, and then I just kept subscribing. And then that's how I found, like, David Dobrik, because he was eventually recommended based on all of the stuff. And then I watched all of David's videos. So it got into these like vlogger sort of thing. But for me, like, all these guys like Sam and Colby or Elton or anyone that Elton works with, because there's like a whole branch over there. And then there's like a branch of David Dobrik's crew, like his branch of friends. They kind of blend over, and it's like this weird interweaving of this YouTube community that has kind of come together. And to me, that reminded me of the old days of YouTube, where everyone was just collabing with each other. And I liked that. Like, hey, come into my video, and then we'll make this cool, like, adventure video, because obviously vlogging is a lot cheaper than making a sketch. But nevertheless, it's just really cool that some people still do it. Some people still do the collab stuff.
Yeah, collabs are pretty cool. You don't see them too often anymore, though.
Or it's usually the same group doing it. That's usually what's happening.
Pretty much.
Who else? Oh, so before I subscribed to Sam and Colby that were doing abandoned videos, I was subscribed to Bright Sun Films, who was doing abandoned stuff. And I got onto Bright Sun Films because they were doing Disney stuff. They were doing abandoned Disney stuff, and I love Disney history. So talking about stuff that is off the beaten path that no one can access anymore, and it's totally abandoned, and Disney just left it, is really interesting. And to find out that there are more companies that just leave the building. They're just gone. They're not there anymore because it's cheaper to leave the building than destroy the building. And Bright Sun Films, most of the time they'll go there, which is even more crazy. and they try to do it as legal as possible. Sam and Colby, they'll sneak into places. So, but I don't know. It's pretty interesting to see the abandoned stuff and get information as they're going into the abandoned place. Also, to me, bumps up the production value sort of thing. Is there any like teachable ones that you watch or informational channels you watch?
About how to be like a better YouTuber or something?
That or just like essays, like video essay stuff?
Not really. It's not really my type of content I like to watch.
That's totally fine.
The only time I look at that stuff is if like when we first started, like how to make your shit look better, how to make like better thumbnails, you know, little stuff here and there. Best settings for streaming and stuff. Nothing, nobody specific. I just pick one that looked like it wasn't going to take forever.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, video essays don't necessarily have to be about YouTube. It could be about like Bright Sun Films. Like those guys do video essays. They just do a video essay on a specific location. Or Game Theory. Like he does a video essay about a game. Stuff like that. But
no.
Well, before we get off of the video essay thing, I got to give a shout out to Defunct Land. This dude, I started watching as soon as he started, which was really crazy. I've never been on a beginning of a YouTube channel before. So when I started watching him when he uploaded, I think like his third or fourth video, and it's hosted by Kevin Perger. And since then, he is just he's just changed his whole YouTube channel into being this very informative, very well produced production sort of videos talking about things like the Muppets and Jim Henson's life of creating the Muppets, to Disneyland fun facts, or how the Ferris wheel connects to Disneyland. It's crazy of how well he goes through, and he has a writing team too that helps him do that. But the thing is like his podcast is really well. He interviews people. There was one that's really good. He interviewed the guy who played Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House, and it's just things like that. You're like, dude, I never thought like someone actually could talk to this person, and you find out more information about it. But yeah, he did one about the history of Zaboomafoo.
Zaboomafoo?
Yeah, he talked about Legends of the Hidden Temple. There's just so many really good, informative, sort of like sit back and just listen to this very crazy information that you'd be like, no way that thing actually happened. Like Action Park. He did that one. I recommend. I think that was like the first video that got me hooked into watching him, and then I went back and just watched all of his other videos. But Action Park is about a theme park that had literally no rules, and it's crazy that it even existed. But it's it actually, I don't know if you saw that Johnny Knoxville film Action Point.
Yes, we saw that together.
Yeah, so that movie is based on Action Park. Like they were gonna call it that, but it's not, you know, one for one, but it inspired Johnny Knoxville to make that movie because of how Action Park was like no rules and crazy. But I don't know.
Man, yeah.
You got another channel you want to throw out, or something else you want to
quick
change?
Sidebar.
We got about 20 minutes.
Quick sidebar. Are you excited for the next Jackass movie?
I just don't want him to die. Like they're really old now. But I mean, hey, if they want to do it, they want to do it.
Fair enough. Let's see. What else have I got on here? Oh, I mean, everybody watches fucking Hot Ones. First We Feast is the channel name. Everybody watches Hot Ones. It's a great series they got. They have celebrities come on. They have them answer some questions about their lives and stuff. It's just basically an interview with hot wings, but they get insanely hot to the point where your face starts sweating. um, and you need lots of milk. But it's I don't think I've seen somebody. I don't think anybody's not done the challenge yet. I think everybody's gotten to the end. I don't know if anybody bitched out or not, but that's really fun to watch. Pretty funny. Let's see. Oh, another dude I just started watching a couple months ago. Is a channel called How to Drink. Basically, he shows you how to make like these drinks from like movies or video games, like based off of like the look and how it's described in the game in terms of taste. So he made like a couple Outer Worlds drinks. He made the Harry Potter's version of butterbeer. He makes like all kinds of stuff, and it's really fun to watch, and it's really well done. I really enjoy watching, even though I'm not a big drinker. It's still really fun to watch.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of another person that I'm subscribed to. I'm trying to find his channel name so I can give it a proper shout out. But Binging with Babish. I think that is the name of his
Binging with
channel.
Babish? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's things that I'm looking on there. I'm like, no way. He actually made the actual sandwich. Or he actually made the actual insert crazy thing from a TV show or movie here. And yeah, I think he does a pretty good job recreating stuff like that. Like cooking and stuff.
Let me see here.
I am subscribed to Shane Dawson. I kind of fell off of watching Shane's stuff like a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Now his new stuff though, I actually will vouch for. He does a really good job. Now I don't know if he's editing 100% of those videos. If he is, that's crazy because they are really like TV quality editing of production. I started watching him. Like I fell off of him, but then the whole TanaCon thing started happening, and I was like, huh, yeah, I'll give that a shot because I watched his conspiracy videos like every so often, but not all the time. It'd be very few. Like I mean, there's some other channels that I also have that problem with. I'll watch like one specific series that person's making or that group is making, and then I'll not watch them for like months or maybe even year. But when I didn't know what the hell TanaCon was, and I was like, oh, I gotta figure this out. And then he did a whole documentary series about it. I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. And I watched his whole TanaCon thing. Then I watched his whole Jeffree Star thing. And then I watched his Jake Paul thing. That was even interesting because I'm like, dude, is Jake Paul like really this crazy, or is he playing to this, or what's going on? And then Shane started. He went back and did like another, like his most recent thing was his longer series of Jeffree Star because he made his own makeup stuff, and it's just interesting because I that's something that I totally don't know anything about. So to see this product that people buy all the time, that obviously I don't, because makeup, I don't know what I don't buy that. So what is the process of starting with an idea, creating that idea, and then marketing that idea, and then selling that idea? And it's super interesting of just seeing this thing that people are just so emotionally drawn to. And I think Shane just does such a great job trying to bring that across, even if you're not even interested in the product itself. Just the idea of showing how this thing is made and from beginning to end. And I know Jeffree Star has some drama with him. I don't know anything about it. And Shane has drama with him too, but it's not anywhere near that. But the thing is it's just, I don't know. I think both of them did a really good job just trying to present that and how the process works. It's just like how I watch video game stuff of how they make the video game. I find it super interesting. Or the abandoned videos of, it's just something that you're like, how is that? How is that a thing? So, do you got another one?
wanted to add on to my how to drink guy. He figured out how to make the Star Wars blue milk.
Oh, nice. They
that you get
did
at
release
Disney.
the recipe that they sell at the parks. So I'm curious if you, I'm curious if he has a different version of that.
He does have a different version because he looked at the packet of the mix because it's a slushy drink.
Mm.
And it showed like a bunch of stuff, and he said it didn't taste like it did. So he made up his own stuff to make it as close to that as possible.
Oh, okay.
So you can do that, and then there was another one. Christmas Vacation.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Christmas Vacation eggnog. That was just one I passed. The one I wanted to tell you about. Wake Up Juice from Back to the Future.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's
Wow.
on here.
Yeah. Are they alcoholic or are they're just a drink? And some of them are alcoholic.
They're alcoholic, most of them.
Oh, okay. So they're like mixed. They are mixed drinks.
They also have a flaming Mo on here for Simpsons.
Oh, for the Simpsons.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's cool. He also made up his own recipe for like an Estus flask drink from Dark Souls.
Oh, funny.
So yeah, he does some cool stuff. Another YouTuber that I watch. Who that's like cool to see, like how stuff is made, like you were just talking about. I watch Corridor.
I have never heard of that.
You would like them. So they are a bunch of like graphic designers and CGI people.
Oh wait, are these the guys that used to work with like Freddie Wong?
I don't know.
Corridor. Can you? Is it spelled like corridor?
Yeah, 2 R's. CORRIDOR. And they go over a lot of their content is kind of going over movies and stuff, and pointing out like what's really good and like what's actually really badly done.
Yeah, these two guys used to work with Freddie. Oh, jeez, oops, sorry. That video started immediately. I'm gonna have to cut that. Hold on, there we go. We're back. They have a startup video like right at the beginning. They have a video trailer.
God.
But the two guys that are part of this, they used to work with Freddie Wong because there used to be a thing called Node. That was their other. I was subscribed to Node, but then they did this. I didn't know that they had another channel.
Yeah, so this is really cool. They're really, really. They even made a thing. They even showed like how they made it. This robot that they were having it learn to do stuff, like catch stuff, and then it like rebelled and like almost killed them. But it was all done and like it was all fake.
After Effects sort of stuff. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so they're like really talented. They're also really good at explaining everything, and they're super entertaining. Just them talking. They're really good at speaking. So I enjoy watching their stuff, mainly because I'm a giant fucking nerd. But yeah, their stuff is really entertaining. Corridor. You guys should check them out if you like interesting stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at some other stuff like that. I'm subscribed to Markiplier as well. He got me into that horror game stuff. I have not watched him constantly because it's just my walkthrough gameplay stuff has kind of weaned away from that because I think once we started this channel, my watching people play the games have kind of gone down unless it's like a funny moments thing, like how Funhouse does it or how Cowchop used to do it, or because I'm not really subscribed to Cowchop anymore, but how all of those the YouTubers I watch that play video games don't play like walkthroughs. Now Mark, I am still subscribed to specifically because he plays games that I will never even remotely touch, because you'll play some horror game from like some indie jam that happened 3 years ago that I'm like, okay, have fun playing that, and then it's terrifying. So there's things like that I'm still subscribed to Mark because of those videos that he puts out.
Oh yeah, Cowchop is dead now. Forgot.
It's dead? Like it's over?
Yeah, I think the last stuff they posted was 2 weeks ago, and the last video says the final interview. So And all their content before that is Last Cooking Show, Last Game Together, Last Wrong Side of YouTube, Last Supper Final, BTS. So yeah, they're gone. They'd already told us that they weren't gonna renew their contract.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. But hopefully they find something. I hope they're not out to dry. Now I did get on a craze of like Pokemon cards, and so I subscribed to Max Mofo Pokemon because he unboxes Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm.
But he also unboxes random stuff too sometimes. But Max Mofo, he's pretty funny too. Just with his, I have not subscribed to his like gameplay stuff. But you knew him before I knew him. Did you watch him? Were you subscribed to him on stuff, or you just knew who he was?
Specifically, I knew him from like the iDubbbz and Filthy Frank video.
Yeah, because he knew them. I saw the Donkey Kong video they did. I was like, oh my god, this is so dumb.
You know what you should do? You should watch Human Cake.
Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle it.
You won't be able to handle it. You'll probably vomit.
Oh god.
I watched Hair Cake and my mom almost vomited.
It's what?
We watched the Hair Cake video on Filthy YouTube channel. I showed it to my mom. She almost vomited.
Jeez.
It was pretty great.
Who else? Yeah, I mean, more or less, that's kind of who I watch on a pretty regular basis. I'm subscribed to Casey Neistat too. But,
are there any like groups of people that like play together that you watch anymore?
I used to watch Kind of Funny a lot. I'm still subscribed to Kind of Funny.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled me away. Greg Miller and company, like Greg, Nick, and Colin, and they just I knew them. So I was mostly Greg and Colin from Beyond, from Podcast Beyond, from IGN. And then when they left and brought Tim and Nick with them, I was like, I kind of knew Tim, but I didn't know him as much because Nick would pop in every so often from the old videos. But anyway, long story short, they so when I saw that Colin and Greg were leaving, and they took Tim and Nick with them, and they started this whole new thing, Kind of Funny, and then eventually got a little bit of a boost in revenue because they got picked up from Rooster Teeth. Then I was like, oh, well, now they're attached to a company that I know again. The connection of their podcast where they did the Game Over Greggy show, and then they started doing the Twitch streams, and I watched them do Twitch streams and stuff. I've since not watched them as much because it eventually came down to they kind of talk about the same stuff that a lot of other groups that I listen to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Like Podcast Unlocked, I'm not subscribed to the YouTube channel of that, but I listen to the audio of that. So I get my Xbox news from there. Game Scoop, IGN Game Scoop, which does have a channel too, I listen to that. So mainly I just don't have a PlayStation podcast. Now, as of late, I might start listening to Kind of Funny a little bit more because they brought back PS I Love You XOXO, which is their PlayStation podcast. So I might go back into Kind of Funny, deep diving. But more or less, I did listen to like the Kind of Funny, whatever they called it. I think it's just called the Kind of Funny podcast, where Tim, Nick, and Greg are just bullshitting around. And now they have like more people that are part of that. Colin has since left, so like there's a whole change and shift of how they were 4 or 5 years ago. So, wow. But that was, and then I guess the Vanoss crew, like Vanoss, H2O Delirious, I'm Wildcat,
they're always
Dahi
good.
Denogla, those guys.
Dude, Vanoss is like, you notice his thumbnail is always the same. He just changes like the text on it, and he always has the same background.
It's a little different in most of them, but yeah, he more or less has the same exact background. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's funny to me. His shit constantly. I don't see a video under 1.5 million views. He has
24.9 million views or subscribers.
Oh, there he goes. His top two, his latest 2 vids are still at 1.2. Yeah, he's
I was watching
still
him,
trucking, man.
The thing was, is I started watching him when he was doing Call of Duty stuff, and
Really?
then I got back on him when he was doing the Gary's Mod stuff.
Yeah.
And then I
started watching him.
kind of fell off of him because he started doing Fortnite and games like that. I think they still do the Gmod stuff. I don't know if they still.
They do. They're doing Human Fall Flat and
Zookeeper Simulator.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, they're playing a bunch of different games. Black Ops 3 Zombies, and then GTA. Yeah.
But of the group, I think I watched more of Vanoss and H2O Delirious.
Yeah, I like his videos more. I like Delirious is his fucking laugh. God damn it.
That like
or when he screams.
Yeah, Delirious does do the horror game stuff. I gotta give him another shot. I gotta start watching Delirious.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Sky watches him a lot. Yeah, she likes him a lot.
He has an Easter egg in Friday the 13th, which I think I showed you. Did I show you that?
I remember you telling me about that, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, if you go to the graveyard, and I think it's Packanack, and you'll see a teddy bear, and I think if you jump on that graveyard thing, or you do something to that tombstone, and I think it does say H2O Delirious, you'll get an achievement for doing something over there.
That's cool. Yeah. You know who I also watched that you might like? Think of like the Vanoss crew, but edgier, much edgier. The Misfits. I watched.
Oh well, I subscribed it. Well, yeah. I found Fitz first.
Yeah, Fitz is who I watched it through.
Yeah.
Misfits is just a group because they have their own podcast called Misfits.
Yeah, we're Swagger and
Swagger Souls.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love all those guys. Yeah, and they just moved out of their YouTuber house. Now they're getting their own separate houses.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, just because like it's living with the same people you're doing content with, I guess, can be a little draining. I don't know.
Yeah, because you're constantly in that mood of like, we have to make content, but it does keep you on a schedule though. Like you're constantly bouncing ideas off. There's not a second where you're not gonna bounce an idea off somebody, especially with a group like that. That's totally always on the move and constantly thinking about the next thing. And but yeah, of that group, I found Fitz. I think I found Fitz through Facebook as well, and I was watching him, and I was like, this is hilarious. I got to see if he has a video, like a YouTube channel. And then I started watching his stuff. I was like, oh my god, these guys are hilarious. And then from Fitz, I found Swagger because I was like, this dude's voice is way too soothing for how much of an asshole he is. So like, and I say that with all the love that I possibly can. And it's like, oh god, it's so good. Like the stuff, like they remind me of the old YouTube content of gamers where it's just so over the top and super inappropriate, but they're doing it because they find it funny, not because some organization's telling them, oh, you can't say that. They like don't give a fuck about it at all.
Yeah,
and I gotta respect it. Yeah, I respect it. Yeah, one of the people that I'm subscribed to for the longest, I already mentioned Kasim G, right?
Yeah,
I mentioned Kasim. Yeah, ask Kasim in California on. But video gamers, this is my last one. The Rad Brad, I gotta give him a shout out. He definitely was like one of the first people I watched walkthroughs through, and very entertaining. So, what's your final one you want to give one little quick shout out to?
My final one.
Can't leave dead air.
Fuck, yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who I? Oh, okay. This one's kind of different. Modern History TV. It's
I have no idea.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense. The name of his YouTube channel. But basically, he is a medieval buff, who like knows all this crazy shit about like the medieval times, and he like has his own horse and has like all these old weapons and stuff, and he kind of like he educates you on like how time was, and like has certain meals made, like what peasants would eat and like what royalty would eat. Turns out that peasants had a healthier diet than the dumbass fucking royals did. So I mean, it's a lot of really cool stuff, and there's kind of like fashion trends and stuff, and fighting styles, and how shit was, I guess, different types of armor they'd use for different situations. Really, really cool, super informative videos that I like watching, just if I'm trying to chill out and watch something. But
okay,
yeah, he's pretty good. You might like it. I don't know. Medieval era isn't really your usual cup of tea, but it's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, comment section's open for you. What is your favorite YouTube channels you want to give a little shout out to in the comment section below, and tell us what if you agree with some of the stuff, if you're subscribed to some of these people, let us know. We're very curious. We want to connect with you guys, and see what you guys also like. That is going to be it for this episode. If you want, make sure you like this video if you're watching on YouTube, to let us know that you liked it. Subscribe, tap the bell button, do that whole thing. If you're listening to the audio version over there on iTunes, Podbean, or anywhere else that you're listening to, audio format wise, please rate this podcast so that it gets put over there on the charts. Helps us out. Grows the PT Nation. It does its deal, and you do your job. And that's about it. So, Ashton, any final words?
No.